This podcast is brought to you by Varietea.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Varietea, where we talk about the current issue which related to SDG goals in this podcast. I'm Hani, your host for today. So here I will talk about the topic Disabled Not Labeled. In today's episode, we'll discuss current social issues and strive to raise awareness and promote equality. Today we will discussing disability discrimination that faced by individuals with disabilities. Please listen to this podcast if you feel discriminated against, particularly in workplace. Without further hesitation, let's get started. First and foremost, the topic of disability discrimination is a pressing issue that affect millions of individuals with disabilities around the world. It refers to unequal treatment and prejudice towards individuals with disabilities based on stereotypes and misconceptions in areas such as employment, education, housing, and access to public accommodations. Disability discrimination can have severe repercussions, including harm to disabled people's self-esteem, mental health, and financial security. Additionally, it keeps to accomplishment gap between those with disability and those without disability alive, restricting possibilities and threatening those affected with the capacity to support themselves financially. Before we get any further, I will explain more about the real meaning of discrimination, so none of us will get confused and misunderstanding. Discrimination refers to unequal treatment or prejudice toward individuals based on their membership in particular group, such as race, gender, religion, sexual orientation, and disability. It can manifest in many forms, including discriminatory practices in areas such as employment, housing, and access to public accommodations. Discrimination can be based on stereotypes and biases and can lead to exclusion, marginalization, and unequal opportunity for individuals who are the targets of such treatment. Discrimination can take many forms, including direct discrimination, which is treating someone differently because of the protected characteristic. Indirect discrimination is policies and practices that appear natural but disproportionately impact a protected group. And harassment, unwanted behavior based on the protected characteristic. Discrimination can also take place both intentional and unintentional ways and can have serious consequences for individuals who are targeted, including decreased self-esteem, mental health issues, and limited opportunities for employment, education, and other important aspects of life. In short, discrimination refers to unequal treatment based on the membership in a certain group and can take many forms and have serious consequences for those who are targeted. It is important to recognize and address discrimination in order to promote equality and justice for all. So now, you are aware with discrimination and disability discrimination. Let's discuss the distinction between these sorts of prejudice and stereotypes. Some of us might be confused by all of these terms, so I will clarify them for all of you. First of all, we have to know discrimination, prejudice, and stereotype are related but distinct concepts. Discrimination refers to unequal treatment of individuals based on their membership in a certain group, such as race, gender, religion, and disability. This can manifest in areas such as employment, housing, and access to public accommodations. Next, prejudice refers to negative attitudes and opinions toward individuals based on their membership in a certain group. Prejudice can take many forms, including bigotry, intolerance, and hate that can lead discrimination and exclusion. While for stereotypes are oversimplified and often inaccurate generalization about individuals based on their membership in a certain group. Stereotypes are often rooted in prejudice and can contribute to discrimination and exclusions, as they can shape social attitudes and beliefs. To sum up, discrimination refers to unequal treatment, prejudice refers to negative attitudes and opinions, and stereotype refer to oversimplified generalizations. All these three concepts are related and can perpetuate inequality and injustice, but they are distinct from one another. So, let's see the example of disability discrimination in the workplace. First, denial of job opportunity. An individual with disability not hired for a job despite being qualified because of the employer assume they are unable to perform the task required. Second, inadequate accommodation. An employer fails to provide reasonable accommodation that would enable an individual with disability to perform their job, such as accessible technology or flexible work hours. Third, harassment. An individual with disability is subject to derogatory comments, ridicule, and other harassing behavior by co-workers and superior. Finally, denial of promotion. An individual with disability is denied a promotion or opportunity for advancement because of their disability. These are just few examples of how disability discrimination can occur in the workplace. It is important to be aware of this form discrimination and take action to address them in order to promote equal employment opportunity for individuals with disabilities. Discrimination towards individuals with disabilities in a workplace can have serious consequences, including decreased self-esteem, mental health issues, and limited economic stability. It is important to address and eliminate disability discrimination in a workplace in order to promote equality and justice for individuals with disability. So, we have finished discussing the example of disability discrimination in the workplace. We are going to discuss solutions on how to eliminate the discrimination in the workplace. Eliminating discriminations toward individuals with disabilities in the workplace requires a comprehensive approach that addresses the root causes and effects of discriminations. Here are some solutions to help eliminate disability discrimination in a workplace. Firstly, we can educate the employees. Provide training and education to all employees on disability rights and the importance of diversity and inclusion in the workplace. This can help to raise awareness, reduce negative attitudes, and promote respect and understanding. Second, implement non-discrimination policies. Develop and enforce clear and comprehensive non-discrimination policies that specifically address disability discrimination and provide guidelines for employees and the managers. Third, provide reasonable accommodation. Ensure that reasonable accommodations are provided to employees with disabilities to enable them to perform their jobs effectively, such as accessible technology, modified working hours, and accessible devices. Fourth, address harassment. Take strong and immediate action to address any instances of harassment or discrimination towards individuals with disabilities in a workplace and create a safe and inclusive work environment for all employees. Fifth, evaluate job requirements. Regularly review job requirements to ensure that they are non-discriminatory and do not unfairly limit employment opportunities for individuals with disabilities. Number 6. Foster an inclusive culture. Foster an inclusive workplace culture that values diversity and promotes equal opportunities and treatment for all employees regardless of their disabilities. Next, employer also can monitor and track progress. Regularly monitor and track progress on eliminating disability discrimination in the workplace and make necessary adjustments to policies and practices to ensure that discrimination is eliminated and prevented. Eliminating disability discrimination in the workplace requires a sustained commitment from employers and employees, as well as a willingness to address the root causes of discriminations and promote equality and inclusion for all. In conclusion, disability discrimination is a serious issue that affects individuals with disabilities and undermines the principle of equality and justice. We must all work together and raise awareness, promote understanding, and eliminate disability discrimination in all forms. Thank you everyone for joining us on Disabled is Not a Label. Tune in the next time for another important discussion. Goodbye everyone and have a nice day.